my Squidlings, it's Katie here, and I hope you're having an absolutely squidlicious day today. So today we are doing the second in my Zodiac series, and this is Aquarius. I'm actually really excited to paint Aquarius. I just love the idea of the whole water bearer thing. I don't know, I've been really looking forward to this one. So let's talk a little about the picture before we talk about Aquarius. So right now I am getting all of the background where I want to put the galaxy in wet with water, and then in a second you'll see that I add the paint and just kind of let it smush around and get all fuzzy and galaxy-like. And you may notice compared to my Capricorn piece that when this does dry, it dries a lot lighter, but that was completely intentional. I wanted this piece to have a little bit of a softer feel to it, as opposed to the Capricorn one that was really bold. I wanted this one to feel soft, and I don't know, I feel like, in my opinion, water is a very soothing and, I don't even know, just kind of a soft feeling like of an element, so I wanted to kind of display that in this piece. So I definitely didn't go back over this with any bright vivid colors because I was trying to achieve that look. If you aren't already and you want to be a part of our patron family, you can certainly do so. It helps support the channel, and you can also win some free art goodies if you participate in some of my contests. There will be a link on the screen. You can pledge for as little as $1 a month and get some really awesome rewards. So now let's talk about Aquarius themselves. So the element for Aquarius is actually air. I was pretty surprised about that. I don't know a lot of the zodiac stuff, but I was surprised that the element was not water, but it is in fact air. And I guess that also helps with the soft feeling, because to me air again is kind of a soothing element, so yeah. Their ruling planet is Uranus, so you'll see up in the top right corner I've got a ball that is going to be Uranus whenever I paint it. And their gems, they have a bunch of different gems, but I decided to stick with amethyst for this, so any of the jewelry that she has on is purple amethyst, and I tried to accentuate a little bit with purples because I felt like the jewelry wasn't enough. Their flowers are orchids. I'm pretty sure they also have more than one flower, but we're just going to stick with orchids for this one, so I end up putting the orchids around the border. I didn't do as many orchids as I did stuff in the Capricorn piece, but that was also intentional. I didn't want it to feel very flooded with orchids. I just wanted it to be kind of soft and simple. Of course, her sign is tattooed on her side. You can see it. It's the like wave design. I really think that it was just simple and cool, and I liked the way it was, and I kind of liked where I put it too. I was going to put it on her arm, but I decided to actually go ahead and put it on her side because, I don't know, I thought it looked better. So, as I mentioned earlier, the Aquarius sign is the water bearer sign, so she is holding a jar of water typically, and it is usually pouring outward. So, I mean, that's pretty simple. And then, of course, the constellation is in the background, and you'll see me kind of add that a little bit later. But yeah, I tried to add the constellation and try to put her in the pose of the constellation. Of course, I couldn't get her in the exact pose, but I kind of paid homage to it, if you will. I have an art store as well where I will be selling this print, as well as my Capricorn print and a bunch of other prints and originals, stickers, buttons, stuff like that. So if you're interested in anything from my store, I will leave a link on the screen. So Aquarius people, Aquarians, are imaginative. They're generally humanitarian, philanthropists, stuff like that. They're very logical and artistic. They're kind and giving. And I really wanted that to kind of be displayed in my piece as well. I wanted her to be very kind looking. I wanted her clothes to be simplistic, but also pretty and elegant. And I wanted just everything about her to seem giving and pleasant and peaceful almost. So I really hope that you can kind of see that too. I went with a blue and purple color scheme because for me, Aquarius is still kind of a winter sign because where I live, it's still really cold, and so I felt like blue and purple, because the amethyst, would go really well together, and I'm really happy with this color scheme. I'm happy that I did what I did with this piece. I really love it, and I'm really enjoying making these like pieces that take me a long time to do because I'm finding fun in the details. I never thought I would say that. So now I'm going in with my Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils, and I am adding more detail. What I do in these pieces is I add a base layer of watercolor to everything, and then I go in with colored pencil to kind of add the detail. It also helps me kind of not worry too much about the details when it comes to watercolor, because most of the time when I do that I flub up, so it's easier to get those small details with the colored pencils, and I'm glad that I do that. I also really wanted her hair to be long and wavy to kind of resemble the water that she's pouring out, and I wanted it to be blue, again, to resemble that. So obviously you've seen that already, and I'm going to go in and detail the hair, and this part was like the most fun part of the whole picture. I just got to kind of shade the hair and accentuate it and just make it look all pretty, and it is draping to one side, and she's got like a circlet on her head to kind of, it's got the amethyst jewel in the middle, and it just kind of like separates her hair. I like the separation that it made with her hair because, I don't know, it kind of looked weird just to one side in the side profile that I had, so I wanted to kind of break that up a little bit. So here I am just kind of sectioning off the pieces of hair before I shade them, and I added some darker pieces to kind of denote that they were a little further back and all that stuff, and I just really liked how it came out. I don't know, I'm really proud of this piece if you can't tell. I really hope you guys enjoy it too. I know I asked you guys last time what sign you were, so now I want to know, what is your favorite sign? Is it your birth sign or is it another one? Let's see, for me, I'm a Leo, but let's see, I don't know, I really like the idea of the Pisces one because of fish, because I think fish are cool, and I also really like the idea of Libra and the scales. So leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite zodiac signs are. If they're your birth sign, you can go ahead and let me know that too. I am just excited to be continuing this series. It gives me something to look forward to as far as kind of pushing my art a little bit. And I feel like I am pushing my art a lot, especially because, number one, I'm doing full bodies, and I'm trying to make them as detailed as possible. This one I did go a little bit more simplistic than I did with my Capricorn piece, but that's just because of the theme behind it. I felt like overcomplicating this piece would actually do more harm than good, so I really wanted to just kind of be simple with it, but add small details to where you can tell I worked hard on it, but I also didn't want it to look overcomplicated. I don't know if any of that made sense, but I'm just really happy with this. I've said that a million times. Can we get a counter on how many times I've said that I'm happy with this piece? So what you won't see later on, I'll start working on the orchids, and I don't really work on all of them in this just because I felt like it would be really redundant. I was just doing the same thing over and over again, and I didn't want to bore you with that. Also, I do a little bit of line work that I actually forgot to film, which I kind of felt bad about, so I apologize for that in advance. I am trying to line most of this with a colored pencil, however, some of it just really needed line work, like her eye, and I think a little bit of her jewelry I add some line work to, and then obviously the constellation, I wanted that to kind of stand out, so I went ahead and did line work on that. But now I'm working on the orchids. I went with a pink with a yellow center and white on the outside. I really like how that looked, and I liked the pink addition because it kind of tied in with the galaxy a little bit, but also it gave a nice contrast to the border, which is kind of like a brownish color. And so I'll do a few of these flowers and then it'll cut out, and then we'll be on to, I think, the gel pen. Also, orchids are my favorite flower. I just think they're so pretty. So here I am adding the little stars in the constellation. Of course, she is blocking a lot of the constellation, but no worries, it is still the Aquarius constellation, at least as close as I could get to it. When you Google the constellations, everybody has their own idea of what a constellation looks like, so that's always interesting. So now what I'm doing is, after I add the stars, I go in and outline everything in white. I didn't do that on the video for my Capricorn piece, but I did go back and do it just because I felt like I wanted to pop them from the background. I didn't want them to sink in too much, and so the white highlight around her, or white outline, whatever you want to call it, kind of brings them out a little bit more and kind of shows that they're maybe a little bit of an ethereal being or something. I don't know. That's how it works in my head, so. we're reaching the very end of the video, and I want to just thank you guys so incredibly much for supporting the series. I know that a lot of you were really interested in this last time. I posted something about it, and so I'm excited to continue the series, and hopefully I will keep doing it. I'm sure I will because I've been loving it, so no problems there. So yeah, leave a thumbs up on the video if you like this, or if you were an Aquarius, leave a thumbs up on the video. Also, don't forget to comment down below, let me know what your favorite sign is, even if it's your birth sign, leave a comment and let me know. If you aren't already and you want to be a part of our adorable little squid pod, you can click the subscribe button down below and the little bell notification button. If you click that, you get notified on when I upload new videos. I upload on Mondays and Fridays, so you don't want to miss those. So until next time, my adorable little squidlings, toodaloo!